And we're up. All right. So, tonight, we are playing A Fistful of Darkness, which is a Weird West hack for Blades in the Dark. It uses the core Blades rules, but has a Weird West spin over top of it. We're going a step further. We're going to skew it a little bit in the post apocalyptic sci fi realm. A little bit Mass Effect, a little bit Firefly, a little bit Trigun. So, 1,000 years ago, a small flotilla of spacefaring refugee colony ships emerges into the night sky above the planet of Nimos. It's not what the inhabitants called it, but it was how it showed up on the star charts. The inhabitants of these colony ships were refugees from cities and places that had deemed themselves overpopulated. So brave souls set out to forge a new life elsewhere. They were told that their ships contained terraforming equipment and all of the necessary supplies that would help them to build a new life on this world. But it turns out that a lot of things were not how they were explained. The flotilla arrived in space and began their descent down towards the planet. Only something went wrong. The majority of the ships did not land gently, as was planned, but instead crashed erratically scattered over the face of the planet, emerging onto the world that they were assured was both uninhabited and nearly ready for sustained and peaceful living. They discovered that it was neither of those things. The world was a wild and unpredictable spread of chaotic and dangerous environments, and folks already lived here. Over the next 1,000 years, the world has become a strange blending. The majority of folks live their everyday lives something very similarly to what we would consider early 19th century U.S. West, Southwest. But it's not consistent. Weird technology, psionic powers, and strange beings that have always been a part of the fabric of this world make things a little strange. Folks fight tooth and nail for the last scraps of advanced technology that helps make living on this planet bearable. So the same town might have an incredible force shield that protects them from nearly any outsiders, but they draw their water from dusty old wells that are running dry. Another town might have, for example, a high-speed advanced train that runs along magnetic rails, but it runs through a scorched and barren wasteland without any kind of environmental controls. They can only go outside in the dusk. So, we center in on our band of, well, there are no heroes in this world. Our band of intrepid scoundrels
We
who are futuristic technology scavengers. We can take a second if you have a little bit of an idea of what to call your character or how to describe how they look. And we'll start with Joe. Joe, what playbook are you using and what is your character like?
I'm using the Scout playbook. So, my name is Mahone. Just Mahone. Last names are for people who want to be found.
no Henry.
And I have a tendency to... I learned when I was young about the stereotype of the dark, mysterious stranger in the corner, and I just leaned into that beyond what is reasonable.
All right, Mahone, the mysterious stranger, intentionally so. Aaron, what playbook are you playing?
I'm using the Wrench and Saw playbook.
Awesome.
Kind of a mad scientist type character. His
Uh,
name is Vincent Backfire Britt.
Excellent. The Wrench and Saw being some of the distant descendants of scientists and engineers and anybody who knew how to make all this weird technology actually work. What are a couple of distinctive characteristics of Brit? Either mannerisms, appearance. Does he have goofy hair?
Yeah, well, let's see. Yeah, think of kind of a Doc Brown type motif. Just he always has goggles on his head, but they're always like cocked sideways, so they're never like even. And yeah, and he's got the unkempt hair of a person that spends most of their time tinkering with things and not paying attention to their visual appearance.
All right. Rachel, what playbook are you playing and who are you playing?
So, the Thunderheart, or as we're calling it, the Mind Knife. And my character's name is Ella. Full name is Ella Phantom Haney. And she's kind of a pioneer girl. Is really kind of how I picture her. You know, spent some time out in the wilderness. Um, you know, living off the land, I think would be a good way to
So
put it.
little fallout shelter on the prairie.
Yeah, I guess that would be fitting.
There you go.
All
Little
right.
fallout shelter in the prairie.
That needs to be a TV series.
I was gonna say I'm writing that down as my look.
So we pick up with our scavengers and scoundrels, sort of nursing their wounds after their last score. You all managed to find a buried cache of futuristic ammunition, especially some of the synthesizers that can create more of it. It was a pretty substantial haul, better than you all have had in a while. Where do y'all go back to between hauls?
I think we go back to Brent's lab.
Sounds good.
All right. So you all are scattered around Brit's lab. Where is Brit's lab located? And what I mean by that is, it seems like an unusual space. Is it like hidden somewhere in the middle of town? Is it in a barn? Is it in a bunker? Where is it located? Any strong feelings, Aaron?
Oh, what?
Where is Vincent's lab located? Is it like
Oh,
a barn,
yes.
a basement, a bunker?
I was actually just thinking about that, but yeah. Man. At first, I want to say barn, but I kind of like the idea of like an underground type setup.
It's just a different fallout shelter.
Yes.
Different vault number.
Well, and maybe it's both. Maybe you at some point you found traces of some kind of weird future tech signals, and you found that there was a dilapidated and ruined barn that was concealing the entrance to some kind of multi-room underground structure.
Nice.
So it's been the work of years to like retrofit the space, get it sort of back up to livable. You've carved out several rooms for different experiments and crafting areas. You have isolation chambers where you can put more dangerous stuff. And as you've sort of taken up with Mahone and Ella, they've carved out some space for themselves. So this feels like we're going to invent a contact for Mahone. Who would be a drinking buddy for Mahone?
His name is Morgan.
All right. So you are coming back from one of your little jaunts into town, and Morgan has brought you a scoop. There is well, when people talk about the train, there's really only the one train, the Red Gulch Express. It runs across several different cities in an area that is appropriately called the Red Gulch. The area itself is known for being blisteringly hot. It's almost like the sun hangs lower over the gulch than anywhere else. But it's an important thoroughfare for a lot of supplies, materials, and people. And Morgan has let you know that the Red Gulch Express is going to be carrying a load of volatile and valuable materials that will be making their way from the city of Scarlet on one end of the gulch to the city of Skyfall on the other end. More importantly, he's also told you that it's almost certain that the Express is going to get attacked along the way. There's too many people who are too interested in this stuff. An enterprising scavenger might be able to come away with the haul of a lifetime here.
Yeah, I was worried for a second that Morgan was going to say something about how we should attack it, and that's just not how I play.
No. Morgan knows you better than that. It's very likely that something chaotic is going to happen along the way. And if you all position yourselves well, you might be able to get out of there none the wiser with some substantial gains.
Fantastic. And I have, of course, shared what my drinking buddy mentioned to Ella and Britt.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah. We don't keep secrets here. At least, not that you know of.
All right. So... Oh, where am I going? So what you all have to decide now is how do you want to go about this? You know the route the train is taking. You know that it's very likely something is going to happen to it along the way. So how do you want to take advantage of that?
I feel like the first order of business would be to figure out the most likely location for things to go awry.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So, you all are probably going to need to gather some information. All of you have, I believe, different questions for gathering information.
Yes.
Things that can get you different bits of info. So, how would you all look for information?
Well, I think I was gonna say, I think for me, where I would start is what do the spirits counsel out of the questions that I've got? Like that's the one. My first question is what happened here recently, and nothing's happened yet. So
Yeah, so your character is the inheritor of certain psionic techniques, certain ways of attuning yourself to the world. this world is filled with strange existences that are more than just the corporeal. You might be able to tap into that to try and pull some kind of insight about what might happen and what forces are at work.
Okay.
So, to do that, that is going to be an attune roll.
Okay.
And now a little bit of
Yeah.
a little bit of Blades in the Dark talk. So we're going to set the details of the roll. So we set its attune. It is a this is a controlled roll, which means that if you get it wrong, probably nothing too bad's going to happen. And it's going to have standard effect. Unless you have an ability that says otherwise.
I don't think I do.
All right. So go ahead and roll attune.
Okay, and so with that, I just need to go over here in the roll 20.
I think you can just click attune and it'll do it for you.
Oh, okay, there we go. Okay, I clicked it.
Oh.
It says input value, input position, controlled.
Yep.
There we go.
Controlled
Submit.
standard.
Effect standard. Submit. And I do have bonus dice.
It's already counting your dots. So
Okay.
it's only over and above that.
All right.
All right. First roll of the game. Got a 3
Okay.
and a 4, which is closer than you'd like. So you did get a 4, so we take the highest. So that's a mixed success.
Okay.
So you get some of what you wanted, but not perfectly. So in this case, I think that what happens is, how does Ella sort of go into this headspace to connect with these forces?
It's kind of like meditation. You know, she kind of gets herself into a corner, where things are quiet, and centers herself, and just kind of puts feelers out with her question in mind. If that kind of makes sense.
Yeah. So you've done this before, and sometimes you get nothing. Sometimes it's very subtle. This time, you get a kick. There is a lot more going on than you had anticipated. You see a vision. The train is moving through this vast arid gulch. This place where the sun that is somehow too close in the sky just scorches away everything. And in your sort of vision, you watch as the train is moving through the deepest part of the gulch. It's like the sun gets closer and closer. The sun is almost like kneeling down to earth. And where the rays of the sun sort of drape against the ground, it leaves behind flickering flames that take the shape of humanoids. And you see them rush towards the train. You recognize that the Bright is very interested in this. Not one of the global powers, not one of the global spirits, but one that is it essentially is the spirit of the Gulch. It is very interested in what's going to be on that train.
Ooh.
What you all see from the outside, little detritus, little like scraps of paper, or maybe even like the edge of a rug or something near Ella. starts to blacken and then actually catches just the littlest bit of fire as she sits there. You wake up as the smoke hits you and you cough a little bit. So Ella has gotten an important piece of information. The Bright seems to be engaged and involved.
Okay.
How would the rest of you look into this?
I think I'm inclined to head out there if it's not too
Dangerous.
and investigate what is the most likely location for an encounter.
So are you wanting to scout in person, like in the Gulch, or are you wanting to like get where people know more about the Gulch?
I'm the kind of person to do it hands-on. I'd like to go out and look myself.
All
If
right.
that's not overly dangerous.
It's the stealth aspect probably is not going to be an issue for you. The incredible heat is going to be complicated. Just looking to see
I'll
if
just go
you.
at night.
Let's see. Excuse me. I think to get out there safely, yeah, you know what? You've got outdoor survival kit as one of your items. So we'll say that at least to get through in the night, Vincent has sort of rigged you up with some things to help filter out the particularly harmful energies that permeate the Gulch. So give me I'll let you choose between hunt and survey.
I was expecting it to be survey, but I have 2 pips for either of those, so
All right. And I think this will trigger your silent hunter.
yes, I think it does. Alright, so are we calling this
So you're in a more difficult situation. We're going to call this risky. We're going to call this risky standard, but with your ability, you're going to take an extra die.
okay. Hey!
All right. This goes perfectly. You're able to actually spend quite a bit of time sort of roaming out in the Gulch. And it becomes very clear very quickly that. So, something you just know, the Scorched are essentially a group of fanatics. People who don't just want to avoid the attention of the Bright, but actually want to earn its favor. The story goes that they are desperate to increase the area of the Gulch. They want it to grow and consume the whole planet. So, one of the strange things about them is whatever initiation they go through, eventually they become sort of leathery and almost sort of like permanently sunburnt scars. But it does let them move about during the day far better than they should.
Mm-hmm.
And you see them massing out in the desert. It seems very likely that they will take advantage of this and attack the Express when it is as far away as possible from help.
Okay.
Logical.
Vincent, is there anything you would want to try? You don't have to necessarily go in person. You could lean into your weird tech and try and make
That's what I was
something.
trying to think of. Yeah, some kind of like weird, tech thing that I could do.
Let's see if there's anything in your gear. Probably not, because it's an entirely different genre. one of the built-in items is a disturbing truth.
Yeah, I liked that one. Yeah, and also an unopened box. I'm not sure what's in the box, but
Um, I would say that with a good craft roll, you could potentially maybe something like a junked up steampunk drone to go and scope
right,
this out for you.
sounds good. So would that be craft?
That would be craft.
Would it be risky or controlled?
Um, I think this is. We're going to call this controlled. You are especially out of harm's way, and you're going to get +1 result level.
What do I set for bonus dice?
No bonus dice.
Oh, okay, because it'll already be.
All right, also a 3 and a 4. So this is to great effect. So I think this is very appropriate. You're essentially able to maybe you send it with Mahone,
Mhm.
and he unleashes this little sort of crawler for you that is able to sort of wander down, sort of down the railway of this sort of maglev train, and it sort of maps out the route for you and shows you a couple of places that seem like likely points of attack. Your mixed success here is that it it manages to sort of drop its info,
Yeah.
but it ends up getting destroyed before it makes its way back to you.
Well, darn.
All right, so you all have gotten to gather some info, and now the planning phase. You have to decide sort of where you want to try and get into this. So you want to be in or around the train, or in a location to take advantage of this when it happens. So your options are assault, in which case you need to know the point of attack; deception, you need to know the method of deception; stealth, which would require the point of infiltration; what we're going to call unnatural or weird, which is going to require some kind of psionic or high tech approach. You can attempt a social interaction, at which point you need a social connection, or, and I change documents. Um, yeah, that's it. We won't bother with the other. So which of those sounds most like what you all are trying to do? Assault, deception, stealth, weird, or social?
I would like to blackball assault.
I don't think that's quite what we're trying to do anyway.
I saw them sunburned people gathering. I do not want to fight them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So some options. You could sneak onto the train. You could lie in wait. You could bargain or persuade to get yourself on the train. You could deceive someone to get on the train. What sounds like a plan?
I feel like sneak might be
Yeah.
our best way to get on the train.
So here's my thought.
Okay.
Given that we know this attack is going to be coming when the train is furthest away from help, or at least that's what it seems to be,
Mm-hmm.
do we want to wait until after the attack? Or do we want to be on the train and get the stuff and get out before the attack happens?
Preemptive strike.
I imagine the train will be fairly heavily guarded.
Yeah.
So waiting until after the dust clears and just grabbing whatever's left might be easier, but there might not be much left for us to pick up.
Right. Unless they're after something specific and
So sneak on the train, lie in wait.
Vinny, old pal, what do you think?
Oh,
Putting you on the spot.
mm-hmm.
I know. Yeah, still contemplating both options, but yeah, that's.
So
So yeah, I
refresh
mean,
my brain because it's been a long day. What what information do we have? We just know that there's going to be some stuff like we're just trying to do like a regular old heist, right? We're not like
Yeah, we're not. I don't think we're looking for anything specific. We just know there's going to be a lot of valuable stuff.
stuff on the train. Okay. We're
something
just
cool.
valuable. Okay.
Hmm.
I'll say this with what you know that the Bright is personally interested. It's going to be some kind of something that sort of advances its agenda.
Okay.
Right.
Right.
I mean, on some level, I like the lie in wait option better because it feels more scavengery as far as
Okay.
if
Yeah.
we're there before they get there and then they catch us trying to steal their stuff. That could not
That
be
could
great.
put us between two groups that are both mad at us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's just go be hyenas rather than the lionesses.
Yes,
Well, you
right.
all know me. Sneaking around is my bread and butter. I just wanted to make sure we were all on the same page.
Yeah.
Right. Works for me.
Yep.
All right. So we have determined the point of infiltration. So you have a pretty good idea of where this is likely to go down between Vincent's map of the route, Mahone's sort of in-person scouting, especially seeing the Scorched, and Ella's knowledge that the Bright is involved. So y'all are able to sort of pick out a point that is close to the center of the gulch. Now this is going to take a little bit of travel, which is a little bit different. So we're going to fold this into your sort of stealth approach. So this is going to be a little bit of stealth from everybody, unless you all have something else you think will serve a similar purpose.
Nope. I'm a prowling.
Yeah, I mean that's what I was
Yeah, I'm not seeing.
All right.
It all works.
And there is a special thing called lead a group action if you're interested.
How many do you have in Prowl?
I have 0.
I've got 3.
That's what I thought.
So essentially, what happens is everyone rolls,
Okay.
Okay.
but you use the best roll, and the person who is leading the action takes 1 stress for each person who rolls a 1 through 3 as their best result.
Okay.
Okay. So it doesn't
Are
matter
we-
who's best at it, just whoever has the least stress so far.
Yes.
Of course, none of us have stress yet.
None
So.
of us have stress.
Are we
I'll
doing
go.
risky or controlled?
This is going to definitely be risky.
Okay.
And I think it's going to be standard effect.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll definitely lead the group action on this one.
Okay.
Yikes.
Uh-oh. It's all that gear I was carrying, you know. I can't leave all my equipment behind.
All right. This could have been a lot worse. So it's going to be Mahone's mixed success on a 5. And Mahone is going to take 1 stress.
Where's stress in this character sheet again?
It's
grit?
grit. Sorry.
Grit. No, not all the grit. 1 grit.
Oh. Okay. See how that goes.
So I think the way this plays out, making your way out into the gulch, and especially going out and sort of setting up for a group, this is an intense thing. We're going to say Vincent has some kind of unusual transportation. What does that look like?
Mm. Well, I think I'd probably try to build some kind of like mechanical horse, even though it's probably impractical, but just because somehow still like the motif of riding an animal, but I want to make it mechanical because I'm an inventor.
All right.
That's what I do.
So you have this strange mechanical. To call it a horse, you've essentially scrapped drones and robots. Some of the parts are very old. Some of them you've had to make new. And so the thing is sort of a patchwork monstrosity.
Yeah, no. Barely looks like a horse, but yeah.
Yes. The head is from some kind of like 4-legged attack drone. Maybe you've like painted a horse face on it or something over the faceplate.
Yes.
So it runs along, sort of pulling some of the supplies and things you all need. You make your way out into the gulch and are able to sort of set up a sort of shielded lean-to, something that will get you out of the worst of the sun and hopefully prevent you from being seen while you wait for the horrible things that are going to happen. So, in that case, we need to do an engagement roll. You all are in place, and this is going to determine sort of how well your plan works. So this is going to be a fortune roll. One person is going to make it. I'll let you all decide who.
Is there a certain section that we're rolling it in, or is it just its own individual roll?
You might have a fortune roll box. It might be on the... Let me see if it's actually on this sheet.
Oh, roll fortune. It's on the
Yes.
right side,
Yeah, that's what you're looking for.
underneath contacts.
Okay.
Underneath contacts.
Oh, underneath contacts. Okay.
Yep.
Oh,
it's
there it
hidden.
is. Okay.
All right. So, to roll fortune, You take 1 die just for sheer luck. Your plan is not. I wouldn't say it's particularly bold or daring, but neither is it particularly complex or contingent on many factors. I would say it does expose a vulnerability of the target. You know that this is going to happen, and you can use that advance notice. So I think it's going to be a two die fortune roll. Whoever wants to give it a shot.
Sure, I'll do it.
All right.
And so then do I need to input the number of dice?
Yes, just 2.
Just 2. Okay. And any notes, it says?
Nope.
Okay. 5 and a 3.
All right. Mixed success.
Yep.
So you all are watching from sort of the top of a dune. You have some kind of special like reflective blanket thing pulled over you all that is deflecting the worst of this scorching radiance outside.
Okay.
You're watching down below. The train is nearly silent. It flows over the hills. And you can just see there's like a metal, just a sinuous metal line describing this rail that it runs along. It sort of hums smoothly towards you. And a fun picture. And as it gets close, you see a massive explosion. Something ignites. Not on the train itself, but on the line just ahead of the train. Something in the delicate, futuristic tech breaks. And the train is no longer silent, but instead is this chaotic thrumming, followed by screeching metal, as the whole thing sort of spirals and crashes across the sand and across its own length. Immediately, Scorched start to burst out of the sand where they've been hiding and scrambling up. Some of them have tools and weapons, and they start to hack away at some of the doors. So, what do you all want to do?
Watch.
Yeah.
Place bets on how many doors they can hack in a certain amount of time. You know.
I'm going to put up a mystery clock.
Of course.
I think what I'm going to do is make sure that our hiding place is well and truly camouflaged.
Yeah. It's not a bad idea.
Or in fact, I will flashback and say, before this happened, I made sure that our hiding spot was well and truly camouflaged because we knew that the Scorched were going to be here.
All right. Yeah, so you all have a pretty secure location. Just for fun, and because it's how the game works, let's give it a roll. It feels like Yeah, it's got to be a prowl roll. Um, so we're gonna call this. Yeah, this could be just gonna be risky standard.
Are we all doing this or just?
It's me because I'm the one who's making sure that our
Okay.
hiding
Okay.
is. And does Silent Hunter trigger on this one?
I don't. Well, let me double check the wording. I do think maybe there was something about this. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, so you'll get +1 die from Silent Hunter.
Woohoo! Really leaning into my strengths.
Mm.
And it's a really good thing.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah, your location is pretty well hidden. As you sort of go to make sure it is fully secure, sort of checking at some of the little improvised elements of disguise you laid. So you are not noticed, but events are still sort of advancing down below. What else do y'all want to do?
Oh,
Is there any way I could have some kind of invention that could scan for what's on the train?
Yeah. We'll call this also a flashback. This one is a little more involved. How detailed are you wanting?
Oh gosh, I probably right now just basics like if anything's I don't know explosive or dangerous, like something we should be worried about.
Let me double
If we
check
decide
your
to-
load. So I think, yeah, we'll call this a flashback. This is going to be a craft check.
Okay.
So I'm going to call this one stress because this isn't like a quick little thing.
Right.
So give me
So-
so mark one grit and give me a craft roll, and it'll be controlled standard.
Okay. And 0 bonus die, or wait, no, I don't know.
So
Forgot. I have mad scientist, so I guess it would be plus
it's
one.
+1
but
result level, so it doesn't
Oh.
affect your.
my dice, but okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You said 1 grit.
Yes. So you've already sort of put something together to help you figure out just what in the world is on this train. And you pick out different elements. I think what you've got is sort of a steampunk spectrometer.
Yeah.
It registers a lot of like advanced metals that are very hard to come by. Some of which is just the train itself, or most of which. There's a few other reactive elements, but the energy spectrum of it is wild. As you are sort of looking down over the train, you see that there is one particular car that is just absolutely on fire in this. It's something more complex than infrared, something more subtle than heat. But this one particular cart is on fire with it, and also you see that it's moving in a way that is troubling.
Mm. Like towards us?
No, it's like moving within a small area of one particular car.
Oh. Okay.
But it's not static. It's not like
Yeah. Like something's moving around. Yeah. So like it's like an entity of some kind, or
That would be your guess.
hmm, have the bright people gotten to it yet?
Um, it doesn't look like they've made it all the way. You can see that now that you know which car of the train this is, you can definitely see that they are zeroing in on it.
Hmm.
And you can see that some of the train's defenses are triggering, and some of the guards are starting to kind of get in position. Is there anything else y'all want to do?
I don't know. Are there any other trains we can check that have less activity, or
Um, yeah, you can see
I might
that
have
there
to avoid
are.
the nature train for now? But yeah.
Um, yeah, so you can see there's a lot of valuable components to it. Um, um, there is some kind of futuristic engine with an energy source. Um, you can see that some of this you just know. Um, there is some kind of powerful energy source. There are control elements that are super high tech that would be very valuable for someone who's crafting something else.
And everybody seems to be kind of ignoring that stuff. Like they're more worried about
Yeah,
the.
they're beelining towards that center section.
Okay, well, I'll see if I can gather other supplies for now, so we don't come away too empty-handed.
Yeah, y'all want to try and scavenge some stuff from the engine,
Yeah, sure.
staying out of sight of the
Right.
scary people.
I mean, engine's probably got some good stuff in it.
Yeah, I know, right?
All right. So how do y'all want to get to the engine?
But sneakily.
Very carefully.
It is the middle of the day, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
It's very bright out. Hopefully, we all wore our sand-colored clothing.
Of course.
Oh, absolutely. I have my whole outdoor survival kit with me.
He's got a full-on ghillie suit or something.
Yeah.
I would this be another prowl check? I guess.
Yeah, if you're going to be sneaky, it'll be a prowl check.
Yeah.
And I think
Well,
I'm going to take another opportunity here, if you'll let me, to lead the group prowling to the engine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this going to be risky? I'm guessing.
Yes, definitely risky. I'm going to say it's standard effect.
Okay.
Normally, like, it's the middle of the day, you're moving across Dune to be very visible, but the guards are distracted by the Scorched, and the Scorched are pretty tunnel vision at this point.
They really want that entity on that train or whatever.
Yep.
Okay, then.
Oh, yikes.
Every time.
Oof.
Okay. Well, the good news is that we're guaranteed my 6th since I'm leading the...
Right.
Yeah. But I get
Yeah.
another grit from...
But my inability to be stealthy is hurting Mahone.
So did Ella roll?
No. No,
Okay.
sorry. I did not realize I needed to roll that.
Yep. This determines how hard this is on Mahone.
Yeah.
I hit the wrong button. Give me 1 second. Need to hit the prowl button, not the dot. Risky,
Yeah, risky standard.
standard, submit. Well, there you go.
Nice.
So Ella basically needs no leading, but as we are going towards the engine, I think Vin almost goes right up to the top of a dune, and I just have to dive and drag
Right.
him down.
Mm.
My usual scatterbrained looking around at things and not paying attention to where I am. So
So
we make
yeah,
it up.
with that result, yeah, you Ella is perfectly quiet as you do this. Um, it might not even be that Vincent makes noise as much as it is just that Vincent is a busy profile. Like a lot of stuff, a lot of like metal surfaces.
Sometimes he clinks.
Yeah, you just
Yeah,
stick out more.
Yeah.
So yeah, you all manage to sneak down. You are not spotted on that 6. You make it all the way down to the security door. Nothing else trips, but you do have a security door in your way.
Okay.
This is not just like a lock. This is like a reinforced, like computerized keypad sort of thing.
Okay.
Did I do disable on it?
Sure.
Would this be risky or standard? Or I mean controlled?
Definitely risky. Yeah, standard effect.
Okay.
Yikes. You're struggling, and I don't know
No,
why.
my rolls are just not going well.
The dice need to go to timeout.
Is it too late for me to say that I assist?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I think we got to fail forward here.
Ah.
Leave the party and disabling the door.
So you do get the door open, but you trip something in the process. So the door opens, and there is a burst of air conditioning.
Okay.
It feels arctic after being out in the sun this long. This burst of air conditioning, and at almost the same time, there is a and something mechanical like rotates and pops out of the wall, and there are a pair of sentry guns that are staring straight down at you all, getting ready to fire.
Oh.
So Vincent just acted. Who wants to go next?
Are they going to fire if we step inside, or are they getting ready to fire now, like as we're standing in the entrance?
They look like they are going to respond in short order.
Like we need to jump out of the way, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
What ability is that? I don't even know.
So you've got a second. The door has popped. The things have popped out. What do you want to do about it?
Duck.
God damn it. Hide.
Unless somebody's a quicker shot than they are.
Right.
You could
I
try.
didn't- I
I'm
didn't
not.
bring- Yeah.
Do any of us have, what would it be, sling?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
explosives, or yeah.
None of us are fighters.
No.
Yeah, I didn't bring any guns. I don't even think I brought any dynamite.
I'm ducking out of the way is what I'm doing.
Yeah, give me a sec.
Out
Look up
of the
something.
door.
Look here.
Ella, you do have what we're going to call we're just going to call it vessel. You
Yeah.
can push yourself, opening yourself up to the spirits and energies of the world. When you push yourself, you can perform a feat of athletics or stealth that verges on the superhuman, or maneuver to confuse your enemies so they mistakenly attack each other, or sense your prey, which doesn't seem applicable.
Yeah.
So, like, jump between the guns and get them to shoot each other.
Yeah, that was my thought, was maneuver to confuse my enemies so that they attack each other.
All right. I think we're going to use a very Yes. We're going to use a very loose definition of prowl.
Okay.
But we're going to call this desperate.
Okay, so prowl, desperate, standard.
Yes.
Okay. No extra dice.
Nope.
Okay. 3.
Oof. All right. Well, this can be real simple.
Get hit.
Let's see. Roll, just for me, do a fortune roll, and it's just a 1d6. You get shot in your left leg. This is going to be 2 harm. And it's going to be...
Where's harm?
It is
Listen.
under grit.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Level 2 arm.
Level 2.
We're going to mark this as stun bolt. There is a pulse that tears through your leg of sort of tangible electric energy. And your leg spasms, and instead of jumping smoothly between the two, you crash to the ground.
Okay.
So you're now inside on the other side of these things that are still active.
Oh. So they can still shoot at the other 2 people, just not.
Yeah, just not me. So just at a technical question. So I found harm. Like, what do I need to write down? I just wrote down stun bolt, but is that...
Yeah, stun bolt,
Shot in the
left
leg.
leg. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I'm like, I don't know what I need to write.
If she had rolled a 6, would she have gotten shot in the head? Like, was each number like a different limb?
It
No,
was,
if I rolled
but it
a
was.
6, I would have survived.
I did left to right, so it was leg, arm, body, head, leg, arm.
Okay.
Okay.
So what would a headshot have done? Just like knocked her unconscious, or?
It would probably still be 2 harm. So harm, what's written for harm matters.
Right.
So like if you get shot in the leg, it's not going to affect your ability to like look around the room. But if you get shot in the head, it's not necessarily going to affect your ability to run, but it might affect your ability to like think clearly.
Or
Run
see
a straight line.
Yeah. Or run in a straight line. I don't know. Zigzagging is a good thing in certain situations.
It is.
All right,
Of course,
so
if you're on a train, that's not going to help because it's pretty narrow.
serpentine. So our mystery clock has filled up. There is a massive explosion.
Fun.
Somewhere further down the train, something just explodes. You feel the heat wave even inside. Let me drop this into Discord. As soon as I see where it went. Why do you do that to me, Internet?
Oh boy.
So Mahone and Vincent, you can't see all the details, but a massive silhouette of fire and smoke comes sweeping up out of that car, and it's probably 50 feet up into the air. There is a choking heat now. What do you all want to do?
Would being inside the car seem to protect us from anything, or?
It would, in the short term.
I might have to get the door closed to actually.
I don't want to get shot, but I don't want to be out here anymore.
Yeah, no, I don't want to get cooked either. Yeah, I guess. can't really mind meld with robotics right now, so
You can try.
I could. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, let's say I know there's a couple of abilities he has that, but I don't have those abilities. But I guess I could try what, attune, or
Yeah.
I'm guessing it'd be risky and desperate. Or no, wait.
Um,
I did that wrong.
so
Or would it
we'll
be?
call this. So if you want to use a tune would be like getting into the sort of advanced controls.
Right.
You're either tapping into like voice controls or even maybe like some kind of brainwave ability.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can try and mess with it directly, probably with, I mean, craft or disable are probably your go-to here.
Yeah.
Disable is going to be a little bit easier. Disable is going to break it. Craft is going to let you potentially be a little more subtle about it.
I'm guessing the +1 result would only be if I was making something, or the mad scientist ability I have.
I've read that ability like 9 times so far this game and still haven't memorized it. Yeah, you're not really crafting here.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, I'll just attempt another disable. And would it be desperate? Oh, what?
I feel like I screwed up your character sheet somehow. You still have some of the Thunderheart abilities.
Oh, weird.
Everything above Mad Scientist is Thunderheart.
I was gonna say when it switched, I was like, "That's weird. Those don't make any sense to me." But yeah, I thought it was just like I had like two of the sheets had similar things or something. But
Nope.
yeah.
That's super weird.
Hmm.
Yeah, you're not really crafting, so that's not going to help you out here. If you want to, maybe if you have something helpful from your loadout, because remember, you don't pick your items till you actually use them.
Right. Yes. Okay.
So they're functionally empty until you start to use them. So you could mark to load and grab demolition tools and blow it up.
True.
Your fine crafting tools might help you like break into it.
You could do the craft skill. I might try craft just for fun since I already tried disable.
All right.
Would it be desperate?
Yeah, I think this is desperate because you're trying to disable a gun that's going to multiple gun drones that are going to shoot at you, and if you fail, you're stuck outside with a fiery thing and zombies.
Yes.
So,
yes. And effect.
I think standard. You've got the tools. You've got the know-how.
Nice.
Excellent. So after your sort of, so after your first attempt to crack into the system, not going the way you planned, you have like a aha moment. You're like, it's not a Mark 52, it's a Mark 79F, and you just bring the end of two wires together, and both of the turrets just kind of and sort of fold back down and into the wall.
Oh, nice. And will I be able to close the door once we get inside?
Yes, I think this gives you all a window to jump into the train.
Yes. Get in. Close the door behind us.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's heat shielded enough that.
So I'll tell you this: you would know you don't have forever.
Yes, no. I was
yeah.
hoping to like just wait out a little bit and see if, people leave or if the thing walks in a different direction that isn't
Um,
towards us. Mostly just a breather so we can assess the situation a little bit more calmly.
Right.
all right.
I mean, do we have any way of seeing out of the train when the door's closed?
So the car you're in is like knocked sideways against another car.
Yeah.
So it's like at an angle. Um, I think you'd probably have to do some kind of check to catch a glimpse safely.
Yeah. I mean, I think we're in the engine car. I don't know if it has any kind of radar or sensors that I could access, but
You could potentially try and tap into some kind of feed, um, and get it pulled up on a screen there.
you could try that. What would that be? Craft or disable?
Definitely not disable.
Survey? I don't know.
Maybe survey. Maybe this gets into the attune area of trying to figure out, because this is tech beyond tech. This is super advanced stuff.
Okay.
So which would you prefer to try?
Oh, between survey and attune.
Um, yeah, which do you want to give a shot?
Okay. I can try survey. Would it be risky?
I think it's going to be risky limited.
Okay.
What is happening?
I had one
failed
good roll.
5 out of 6 rolls.
Why are the dice hating on you?
No, they just don't like mad scientists, I guess.
Yikes. Um, so you are not able to get this to work, and it takes some time. That mystery clock is ticking.
Uh-oh.
I tell you what, I'll look out the window. You figure out what we can salvage from this engine.
Okay. What kind of roll would be looking out the window?
I feel like y'all are just throwing good rolls after bad. All right, wait. So what did you say?
I said, I tell you what, after Vincent spends a little bit of time cursing at the computer, I tell him, I tell you what, you find stuff that we can salvage from this engine. I'll just look out the window.
All right. So you say look out the window. You're gonna have to like maybe pry one open a little bit, or like pop your head back out the door for a second. Which would you prefer?
I know I can close the door, so I'll pop my head out the door.
All right. Yeah. So we'll call this. This is a survey, probably.
Ah, that's fair. I'm assuming risky.
Let me double check. Yeah, it's almost got to be survey. Yeah, it is. Yeah, we're gonna call it risky standard because you're kind of out of the way, but it is a bad situation.
Yep.
Oh. You predicted it.
All right.
Do I
That
get
is
a double dice
that is a
effect?
critical.
Crit, 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 crit.
Multiple sixes is a critical. So
Nice.
you look out and you can see the Scorched have gathered, and they're not even trying to like fight this thing. They've sort of formed like a loosely ordered ring, and occasionally whatever this is leans down and sort of tries to carve out several of them at a time. You can also see that this fire is emanating from what looks like a person. There is someone in the center of this. And as you watched, a scorched comes up, and this scorched looks more charred than some of the others. And you can feel it as supernatural fire sort of dances along the frame of this scorched. This is a scorched esper, someone who channels spirits and forces. And they raise their hands, and fire runs along like the shoulders and heads of all the other scorched, and shoots up as a thin curtain of light. And as it goes up into the sky, you can see, nope, that's not your imagination. The sun is getting substantially lower. And as soon as they do this, it starts to get lower faster. It is becoming tangibly hotter outside. Y'all are in real trouble.
Find something we can sell and let's get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Grab what we can. Okay.
I think there was a god on this train. I'm not even a religious person, and I think there was a god on this train. We need to get out of here.
Somebody's messing with the deity here. Okay, so do we have to do something to know what to grab, or?
I'll leave it up to you. I think if you're a little more methodical, you have a better chance of getting something you want. The better stuff here. But you're also normally a very skilled and smart person, and you're in a time crunch. So
yeah. So would we roll something to? Yes, I guess so. We're voting on whether we want to quickly grab things or try to methodically find good stuff.
Yep.
Like, what kind of balance do we want to strike here?
I don't want to be here when the sun touches down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we'll probably just have to do a quick grab.
Smash and grab.
Yes.
I'm gonna yank the guns up on the way out.
So Mahone, you're yanking at something. What kind of roll do you want to make?
I don't even know.
Probably. So I'll give you the same deal I made for Vincent earlier. Craft is going to get you something more intact. Disable is going to get it quick.
I just want to get it quick, so I'm going to disable.
All right. If you do it on your own, that's going to be a flat check. Do you have anything you want to use to do that? Do you want to use anything from your load?
Yes, you know what? I actually brought with me a rather nice hunting knife that has a very sharp blade to cut through metal.
All right. So I think in this world, most nice things are very old things that are sort of leftover future tech. So being of this better metal and this better make, it is going to be a very appropriate tool for this. It's going to cut this metal better. So we're going to call this increased effect. So we're going to call this risky standard, and standard is going to bump up to great.
Okay. I'm sorry, say that again.
So roll disable and roll it risky standard.
Risky standard, okay. The dice love me.
Dude.
Jeez. Yeah, you just like cleanly get in and just smooth cut. It's perfect. It just shears off and you pull off the majority of the device exactly the way you wanted. You have two mostly intact mountable turrets that are just going to need some wiring and mounting work. A pretty good haul.
Man, we should have done that on the way in.
So we haven't heard from Ella in a minute. Ella, what do you want to do?
Oh my goodness. Poor Ella just sitting here kind of trying to figure out how to dodge murder weapons and explosions, and now she's gonna hobble her butt around.
I mean, I think with your intensified sensitivity to, sort of forces,
Yeah.
you're feeling these things moving outside.
Yeah.
You feel the this. You know for sure it's the Bright. The Bright is descending from above, and it's a much smaller power, but this thing that it is descending towards, you can feel this sort of screaming, fiery entity in the center, and sort of beneath that, you can hear a humanoid voice, not necessarily saying anything, but just sort of screaming.
Okay. Hmm.
So what would you like to do?
Try to figure some things out. Give me 1 second. Here. I mean, there's a part of me I think that kind of wants to survey. But I'm also kind of thinking, okay, I need to GTFO.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
I mean, you could potentially do something wacky with a tune.
that's true. There was also thinking about that, but I don't even know what I would try and do with a tune.
Push the sun away.
Push the sun away? That's not a bad idea.
I mean, you could maybe do something that helps hide you all. You could do something to push back the rapidly escalating sort of radiant energy here.
Yeah, the
You could
fire.
also maybe snip off a piece of this powerful energy and let it run through you and just melt a chunk of tech out of the wall to steal.
That sounds cool. See if I can do that.
All right, give me a tune then, and oh, you would have used 2 grit earlier, but you can spend 2 grit to push yourself.
Okay.
So you'll roll 3 dice,
Okay.
and potentially have a superhuman level of effect.
Okay. So what would my input value be?
So you hit a tune,
Yeah.
and it's going to be risky, great effect, and you're going to roll 3 die.
Okay. So I have 1 bonus dice.
Yep.
Oh, all right. 6, 4, 6.
That is a real good one.
Yes.
So I think you've watched Vincent kind of puttering around, like marking out like what to take and like what needs doing. And as you feel the heat intensifying, you don't just feel it in the air, you feel it like running through your veins. Your hands start to glow red hot, and you're able to just, all of this incredible radiant power flows through you, and you're able to just pull the core of the engine just fully out.
Okay.
You pull a lot of like connections and things with it, but it is now loose and ready to roll.
All right. Sounds good. Got what we need, guys.
Let's roll.
let's escape.
All right. It is chaos outside.
No, really, you don't say.
The bright is now almost directly overhead. It feels like you're in an oven. Even just standing here, you all are starting to burn a little bit.
Ugh.
What do y'all want to do?
Run away.
Yeah. Run.
Get out of here however we can.
Yeah.
So that's probably another prowl check. They fold running into prowl.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I will once again lead the group action.
Is it a risky position?
Desperate.
I'm going to say this is desperate.
Okay.
If this goes bad, it's going to go all the bad.
Standard effect or more?
Standard.
Okay.
Well, and I'll tell you this. Ella is going to roll one less die because of her injury.
Injury. Oh no. So how do I do that then?
Can you put
You do.
-1 when it says bonus die?
Yeah, you could do a -1 on the bonus die. Okay.
Oh yeah, I do see that. Okay, it's down at the bottom. Yes.
Just saying again that I am leading the group action.
Poor Vincent.
Yeah, I know.
No, I rolled a 5-5.
It's because my nickname's Backfire. I think that it knows.
All
It
right.
knows.
So I've now taken 3. I've lost 3 grit because of Vincent prowling.
Yep.
Meanwhile, the injured person gets out without harm.
Well, this is a mixed success. So here's what's going to happen. All of you are going to take 1 harm, and the harm is scorched mutation.
Ow. That doesn't sound good.
It's only a
level
1
of harm?
harm level,
One.
but the bright is so close at this point that the energy of it doesn't just burn you, but you feel it actually sort of suffusing your bodies. That's going to take some work to undo.
Yeah.
You manage to get out a ways from this battle of spirit and minor spirit. As the scorched, the bright gets closer, and as it gets closer, it's like this huge sort of feminine silhouette of flame is being compressed and pushed back down towards the body of what you can see now is a young woman, probably not even out of her teens, wearing very strange clothing that looks... Vincent would recognize this. Looks like old sort of like hospital garb. And it is compressing down, and the scorched are closing in on her. But you all manage to make it back to your horses, mechanical and otherwise, retrieving them from beneath a sort of reflective tarp shelter. And you make your way back to Vincent's lab with your haul in tow, leaving this fiery young woman to her fate.
All right.
That's just how it works sometimes.
Yep.
That's how it be.
I mean, we don't know if he's a good guy or a bad guy, anyways. So.
This is true, and it's not necessarily useful terminology in this world. However, what I will say, you all did accumulate what I'm going to call 3 doom from this haul.
Doom.
Doom.
Okay, making sure I heard you right.
When your doom caps out, it unleashes a rider, which in the original setting is very Book of Revelation, Horsemen of the Apocalypse.
Mm-hmm.
But in this case, every time your doom bar fills up, a major leap happens towards the ultimate devastation of the planet.
Okay.
The long-term ramifications of this are not going to be good. On the bright side, no one is the wiser that you did this.
There
Right.
you go. How nice.
You made it out with no issue. And I would say that this, by the time you get it all sold, this is probably a 6 coin mission. So that's either 2 for each of you, or that's 3 to the group stash and 1 each for you all. As you all make it back to town safely for now. And that's where we're going to leave our Fistful of Darkness characters for tonight.
Okay.
What becomes of this young woman, maybe we'll find out in the future.
Maybe.
Maybe.
From a distance.
Yeah,
Yup.
from a distance.
A very safe distance until we know
Very
what she's.
I mean, you'll be able to see the mushroom cloud for miles, so.
Yeah, about that.
All right. Well, I am going to cut off the stream.
Okay.
Bye, Internet.
Bye.